Hey yo guys, what's happening? It's your boy Araine TJ back again with another reaction video, and today, we drawing some time, and we're gonna look over this Young Thug's insane fights with YFN Lucci in jail, right? Now before we get into that, follow your boy, like and subscribe. If you like my drawings, check out my store. I got art there, I got merch there. That's shirts with some of my art on it. I got some prints, posters, any and everything, gang. Follow me on social media, Instagram, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever. It's Araine TJ. You see it on the screen. Now let's get into today's video.
Young Thug's impact on contemporary rap and the mainstream is undeniable, but now he's facing trial with his associates because his label, YSL, is accused of being a criminal gang. His rival and popular rapper, YFN Lucci, is also caught up in his own RICO indictment with his YFN buddies. Their beef, which started almost a decade ago, continues even behind bars. Lost friendships, damaged cars, court controversies, backstabbing. Things have escalated, and the list is endless. Today, we look inside the chaos between Young Thug and YFN Lucci in jail. Are Thugger and YFN Lucci self-destructing? Thugger and Lucci have found themselves in the same Fulton jail ever since their arrests. Despite their best efforts to secure their freedom, the path they have taken has not been easy. Various factors and people have played a role in the challenges they face in trying to gain their release. Speaking of people, this is probably where everyone wants to mention Gunna's name, but no, this right here has nothing to do with him. In fact, it would be too easy and lazy to just put this blame on him. However, the situation has everything to do with a certain woman. This woman is the Fulton County District Attorney, Fonny Willis. She is responsible for taking legal action against both Young Thug and his group, as well as YFN Lucci and his associates. From what we've seen from the trial, it appears she's particularly focused on prosecuting Young Thug. The reason for this line of thought is clear. This woman has offered everyone except Thugger a deal to beat all their charges. All they have to do is snitch on Thug. This woman is doing everything to ensure Lucci and Thug remain locked up. While it is easy to point fingers at the lawyer, it's important to acknowledge that a portion of these challenges can be traced back to the actions of Lucci and Thugger themselves. It is not an exaggeration to suggest that their behavior behind bars might have contributed to their struggles. In light of their activities within the jail, describing their situation as self-destructive wouldn't be an overstatement. YFN Lucci was accused of being part of a shooting where a 28-year-old man died and another person got hurt. He wasn't just accused of the shooting, he was also charged with aggravated assault and being involved in a criminal street gang. Subsequently, on January 13, 2021, he voluntarily surrendered to the police and was detained. Following the payment of a $500,000 bond on February 8, 2021, he was released under house arrest. He was soon incarcerated again and faced even more serious legal trouble when he was linked to a major federal case involving 105 charges. These charges included activities related to organized crime, breaking state laws against gangs, and carrying a gun while committing a serious crime. The Atlanta Police Department said that Lucci was associated with a group of the Bloods gang. However, his lawyer denied these claims. On June 1st, 2021, a judge in Fulton County denied him the opportunity for bond. It is not looking good for Lucci. He could potentially spend the rest of his life in jail if found guilty. Like Lucci, Thugger also faces serious charges, including attempted murder and being involved in a criminal street gang. This was because he was accused of renting a car that was used in a 2015 drive-by shooting. Unfortunately, this shooting led to the death of Donovan Thomas, who was 26 years old at the time. The rapper's arrest was part of an even bigger case. A grand jury indicted 28 people linked to his label, YSL Records. The indictment, which includes 56 charges, points to their lyrics as evidence of a plot to break the RICO Act. It states that members of YSL were engaged in serious crimes like murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, theft, drug dealing, carjacking, and intimidating witnesses. The indictment was massive, stretching across 88 pages, as reported by the New York Times. It labeled YSL as a criminal street gang and accused them of being involved in 182 instances of gang-related activities. The legal action also extended to Pee Wee Roscoe, Yak Gotti, Gunna, and Thug's brother Unfunk. Earlier, we discussed the possibility of Lucci facing a life sentence. Yet when we compare their situations, it appears Lucci's charges are not as serious as those of Thugger. Nevertheless, the biggest problem for both of them right now is a lack of self-preservation. Their actions in jail are making their problems worse, and now prosecutors have more reasons to keep them in prison. In April 2023, a video surfaced online showing a prisoner with claimed connections to YFN. In the video, the inmate is is seen attacking a YSL member who was held back near a toilet. The victim's painful screams are audible with every blow, even though his mouth is covered. As the incident unfolds, the attacker tries to erase the YSL members. Crew tattoo using a razor. The whole ordeal was recorded by the attacker on camera. It's no secret that the entire video is legally the most foolish thing for both YSL and YFN. That's because the RICO case brought against Thugger by DA Willis and her team of lawyers has been lacking a crucial element. They have been attempting to get someone from his group to confess that YSL was more than just a label. It is a gang of criminals. Despite all the discussions about disloyalty within the YSL ranks, proving this assertion has proven to be quite challenging. Plea deals are complex. They might look like a solution, but they can have hidden problems for people who accept them. Imagine someone accused of a crime waiting in jail for their trial, which might be far away. Now, suppose this person can assist the prosecutors in convicting someone seen as a bigger criminal. In that case, they're offered a plea deal, but they have to decide quickly and are put under serious pressure. When it comes to plea bargains, the defendant's lawyer has to decide what's best for their client. Sometimes, these people decide to have a trial. But a big problem is that while waiting for the trial, a judge might decide they need to stay in jail. This means they could spend many months or even years in jail before getting a chance to tell their story to a fair audience. Let's use Gunna as an example of how complicated these plea deals are. A video showed up on social media, and many people started thinking that Gunna had betrayed his association with Thugger and was seen as a traitor.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
The people that called Gunna a snitch might be right, but he didn't formally betray anyone according to the rules. He used a special agreement called the Alford plea, which let him admit that YSL was a gang without saying it directly. An Alford plea is a legal term that describes a plea deal where the accused person maintains their innocence, but agrees that there's enough evidence for a likely conviction at trial. It's a way to accept a plea deal without admitting guilt. In Gunna's case, he used an Alford plea for a complex situation. Even though he didn't directly admit wrongdoing, he used this plea to indirectly recognize that YSL was a gang without explicitly saying so. This plea helped him manage the situation without fully accepting guilt while still acknowledging the evidence against him. But despite this plea, prosecutors know they need to make their case against YSL, and Thugger stronger to address any doubts the jury might have. Fortunately for the prosecutors, both Thug and Lucci have been working together with them to gather evidence against themselves. They're giving more proof that can be used to show their guilt. There have been times, even after they were arrested and during their trials, when they've said or done things that make them look guilty. In July 2022, members of YSL allegedly attacked and injured Lucci while they were incarcerated in the same facility. Later, something unbelievable happened with Thug as well. In a ridiculous display of guts, he was caught on video getting drugs in the courtroom.
Now, there are new allegations against him and a fellow YSL defendant. Here's what happened. We got this video from court. Take a look at the part we highlighted here. Do you see this? Right there. According to court motions, Young Thug's fellow defendant Khalif Adams passed Percocet to Young Thug under the guise of a handshake.
Then, YFN Lucci did something strange too. He shared a video of himself mixing alcohol with lean and other illegal substances he shouldn't even be caught with out of jail. It was almost as if he was hell-bent on outdoing Thug in this downward spiral journey.
What?
Don't forget their affiliates also got into trouble for scraping tattoos. Amazingly, all these incidents were recorded on videos and phones, even though those things aren't allowed in prison.
Why would they do
They're
that?
so caught up in conflicts that they don't realize they're causing their own downfall. Perhaps they dislike themselves so much that they can't see the bigger picture. Young Thug and YFN
That's
Lucci
crazy,
beef.
bro.
Let's look at the origin of their beef. In 2017, Young Thug made a tweet claiming to be the new version of Tupac. He mentioned that he released his EP, Easy Breezy, Beautiful Thugger Girls, on Tupac's birthday because he felt like he was fulfilling the dreams Tupac never got to achieve. In his exact words, "I dropped EBBTG on Tupac's birthday because I'm the new Pac. I feel like I'm the thug he didn't get to become." He also included the hashtag, "So I'm gonna finish what he started." However, YFN Lucci did not appreciate Young Thug using Tupac's name and decided to mock him for wearing a dress on the cover of his
Hater.
Jeffrey mixtape. Lucci's response was a tweet that said,
Bro, that's so hater, bro. Like, you'll just be minding your own business, make a post, hey, I'm nice, I'm just as nice as Pac. I feel like that. What? You know, you just making a post, it don't matter. And somebody gonna come, you ain't really Pac, you ain't really that nice. Was this always down, gang? My bad if it was.
Pac would have never wore a dress. He also added a clown emoji. The mixtape's cover that Lucci mentioned in that tweet featured Young Thug in a dress designed by Alessandro Trinconi, an Italian fashion designer. Thug later explained that the purpose of the dress was to conceal an AK-47 rifle. After Lucci's comment, Young Thug responded with a series of tweets making indirect threats at Lucci's life. One of the tweets says, "Thank God you're able to take care of your mama and be humble." Another tweet also warned about the consequences of doing too much. Doing too much could become a deep sleep. Thugger even referred to Lucci as a peon. In case you are wondering, a peon is someone with little authority. To retaliate, YFN Lucci released a new single called Like Pac on what would have been Tupac's 46th birthday. The song received positive feedback from his supporters. Throughout most of 2018, the rivalry between the two rappers subsided and they both collaborated on Atlanta rapper T.I.'s album Dime Trap. It would appear as though they had let go of their differences, but the origin of their beef goes deeper than just subtle threats and comments on Twitter. Let's go back a little bit to years before the start of their Twitter beef. Both of these guys know a lot about street life. People might not realize how well connected Young Thug is in his neighborhood because he dresses uniquely and sometimes talks in a way that seems different. But don't be tricked. Thug has been part of street culture for a long time, even before he became famous. He once talked about his crew, ROC, in an interview. He said it could stand for Raised on Cleveland, Ready on Command, or Rich Off Crime. These connections were more than just friends. They were like a strong belief in his community. Thug managed to find a way out of the streets and gain recognition in the music industry as one of the top artists. He and his crew later became known as YSL, which could mean Young Slime Life or Young Stoner Life, depending on whether you look at it from a street view or a music label view. On the other side, YFN Lucci grew up in Summerhill, Atlanta, Georgia. His family didn't have much money, so he felt motivated to make it in the tough neighborhood, even if it meant getting involved in dangerous things. Lucci was a bit rebellious when he was young. He got into fights and caused problems. He even got kicked out of school after being suspended many times. He tried working at McDonald's, but the pay wasn't enough. So he quit and went back to the streets. That's when he joined up with his street brothers and childhood friends to create the group YFNBC, or Young Fly Niggas Bout Cash, now known as YFN. Lucci started rapping about his tough life in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's a lot of words to say.
Encouraged him. However, his music career and real life became closely connected, causing problems for his family. His home was shot at twice, and his mom was even hit by a bullet once. Lucci believes he was the target. Remember the tweet where Thugger said, "Thank God you able to take care of your mama and be humble." Many thought he was referring to Lucci's mother being shot at. Even though both Thug and Lucci managed to escape their tough neighborhood through music, the influence of the streets remained strong. This way of life kept them tied to violence and crime. Everything was fine until someone important to Lucci, OG Nut, also known as Big Nut, died. OG Nut is said to be Lucci's mentor, and he heavily influenced him. Initially, most people thought the killers were unknown, and they believed that Lucci and Thug had a good relationship. But as time passed, the conflict became known to everyone. Later, federal documents were released in a case against YFN. These documents suggest that OG Nut, who led a specific faction of the Blood Gang, might have been at the center of the problems between Lucci and Thug. These papers say that OG Nut's demise started the beef between YFN and YSL because Lucci blamed YSL for his mentor's death. In February 2016, the beef between Lucci and Thug became widely known in the music industry. Lucci claimed to have slept with Thug's partner, and Thug responded by publicly showcasing his loyalty to his girl. However, Lucci showed no respect and insinuated that Thug's girl had spent time on his sofa. He even went so far as to share text messages as evidence. Although Thug tried to downplay the situation, Lucci persisted and discussed it openly in an interview.
I saw that you said you slept with his girl. Is that what it's about?
I was in the bed with her a couple times.
Messing with someone's partner often leads to unnecessary escalation, and Lucci knew that if he poked at that sensitive spot, Thug would eventually respond. In 2017, Lucci paid respect to OG Nut with the release of his project, Long Live Nut. In that same year, Thug released his own project and made a reference to Tupac on Twitter. This was when Lucci remarked that Tupac doesn't dress like a girl. In March 2019, Young Thug took to Instagram Live to address his fans' comments. During the live stream, someone asked about YFN Lucci, which made Young Thug angry. He said he would even get into a fight with him. Young Thug's words were strong, like when he said, "I'ma slap the hell out y'all little man. Stop playing with me." But YFN Lucci wasn't one to back down. He fought back by making his own video on Instagram Live, which the Shade Room shared. In the video, he used a mean word and confidently said that Young Thug wouldn't actually fight with anyone. The situation didn't end there. Lucci's friend saw...
You see what I mean, bro? Everything Thug says or does, Lucci comes back out like a dick rider, bro. Like, straight up, for real, gang. Like, he comes back like a dick rider. "Oh, I'm gonna make another video. Oh, I'm gonna make a video doing that. Oh, I'm gonna top you." Like, bro, you like him or something, bro? Like, what's good, bro? Like, do your own thing, son.
Walker joined in and shared a video of Young Thug practicing boxing.
Like, come on, bro. Go do your own thing.
Suggesting that Thug
you really like him,
Young
bro.
Thug didn't back down either. He took to
Hey,
Instagram
you really
again
want to
and
be
repeated
like
his
him,
threats,
bro.
saying, "I'm gonna slap the out of you as soon as I see you," like I said. He even boasted about the high cost of his teeth, claiming they were more expensive than Lucci's entire life. After that, there was a period of silence for a few months until Young Thug released his album So Much Fun. Given the circumstances, it was widely expected that YFN Lucci would respond in some way in the following days. As predicted, YFN Lucci couldn't resist taunting Young Thug once again on Instagram in 2019. 2019. Lucci posted on his story Cap Ass album without specifying who he was referring to. Then he added, boy almost on himself in Linux, clearly implying thug, and made one final post with just the word cap. The feud between these two continued and showed no signs of stopping. At some point, Thugger even issued a chilling threat to end Lucci's life. He made this threat known by posting a message on his story where he tagged Lucci and said, if ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you. Young Thug's back and forth argument with YFN Lucci's friend, Sauce Walker, also continued. This started in 2017 but flared up again in March 2019 after a quiet period. They mainly argued on Instagram, using live videos and posts to exchange strong words. In May of the same year, an incident occurred in Atlanta where YFN Lucci's Mercedes SUV was shot at. Lucci himself was unharmed, but another person in the vehicle suffered 2 gunshot wounds. Since the SUV was registered under Lucci's mother's name, the police believed the bullets were intended for him. In 2020, the beef between Young Thug and Lucci still shows no signs of slowing down. Thug made fun of Lucci's jewelry in public, but things got serious for Lucci in January 2021 when he gave himself up to the police for a shooting incident where someone lost their life. He was supposedly driving a car that ended up in a rival gang's area. This led to a shootout, and a person named James
his homie.
In March 2022, something dangerous happened to YFN Lucci while he was in jail in Georgia. He was making a video call, and another inmate stabbed him. Luckily, he survived the attack. There were claims that Young Thug might be involved in a plan to hurt Lucci in prison. 2 months after this incident, Thugger was also arrested and incarcerated in the same facility as Lucci. However, if what we've seen is any indication, their beef is still going strong even in prison. Will Thug beat his charges? The biggest question right now is whether Thugger will overcome his charges. But before we get into that, let's dive into all you should know about the YSL trial. The YSL trial with Young Thug and 14 others is getting a lot of attention. It has become a huge deal in the world of hip-hop culture. This trial is even more important because Young Thug's career is at its peak. It is also causing a big debate about using rap lyrics in legal cases. But what's really grabbing people's interest are the super unusual things that have been happening recently. In May 2022, Young Thug, Gunna, along with 28 others, got arrested and charged with a bunch of crimes under the RICO Act. Over the next few months, Gunna and the other YSL associates agreed to a deal to get out of jail and avoid trial. The trial officially started on January 4th, 2023, with jury selection, and there have already been many crazy disruptions, outbursts, and even more people getting arrested. But here's the wildest part. The actual trial hadn't even started when all these happened. During the jury selection for the trial, Chief Judge Euro Glanville surprised everyone by reciting the lyrics of Thug's famous song, Slime Shit. This happened right after the judge listed some Georgia laws that Young Thug and the defendants were accused of breaking under the RICO Act. Then about a month after Gunna got out of jail, he shared a picture on Instagram. The photo showed Gunna sitting on a couch in the living room. The caption said, niggas acting like they switching to a side, but it's only one side. The caption had hashtags like YSL the label. This indicates Gunna's stance after heavy backlash from taking a plea deal. The other hashtag says, Free Thug and Yak, to support Young Thug and Yak Gotti. Right when they were picking the jury, they had to delay a court hearing. This happened because Khalif Adams, who is Thug's co-defendant in the RICO trial, got caught giving illegal substances to him. After the
Stupid, bro. You see that? Right there in front of everybody.
They also looked through Adams and found Percocet, weed, tobacco, and other banned substances. These were hidden smartly, using plastic and spices to hide their scent. The court got postponed for the day. The paper said some illegal possession and distribution of contraband was happening in the Fulton County courthouse. On the other hand, Adams had to go to the hospital. Turns out, he swallowed more drugs to hide them. Adams' lawyer, Teombre Callan, told the public that these claims were just the state's way to make the jury selection process longer. Keith Adams, Young Thug's lawyer, also talked about it. He said this is a distraction from the real trial. He added that Young Thug is working hard to defend himself and wouldn't want to do anything that might hurt his chances or make him look bad in the public's eyes. In February 2023, a video of one of Thug's affiliates, YSL Woody, being questioned by the police was leaked on social media and became very popular. This video was originally submitted in preparation for the trial. In the video, YSL Woody is seen sitting in a room with the police, talking about a plan to harm rapper YFN Lucci. This plan was supposedly at the request of Young Thug. Near the end of the video, YSL Woody asked for some understanding of his situation. He also said he was worried about his safety if others found out he was helping the police. On February 22nd, 2023, Gina Bernard, the lawyer of another YSL associate, Jaden Myrick, asked for a mistrial. She said that the leaked YSL Woody tape was the reason. Bernard thinks that her client's chance for a fair trial got messed up when the tape got out online. She said the Sixth Amendment, which guarantees a fair jury, might not be happening here. When a video of YSL Woody's questioning got out on the internet, Judge Glanville, who is overseeing the RICO trial, decided to find out where it came from. The judge also told everyone in the courtroom that evidence brought up during the trial should stay private. He explained that this is important to ensure everyone gets a fair trial. He didn't know who leaked the video, but he warned them to be careful not to risk their lawyer license. He said, I don't know who did this, but if this pertains to you, please amend your ways. You're playing a very dangerous game with your 6-digit bar number. On April 3rd, 2023, a juror known as Juror 1004 Inches got into trouble. She recorded a video during a court session a month before, which goes against the rules of the Fulton County Courthouse. This happened on March 17th. Deputies took her phone away and found the video in a deleted folder. When they asked her about it, she explained that it was her first time doing jury duty and she didn't know about the rules. As a result, she was given a 3-day jail sentence. There was a loud and chaotic scene inside the Fulton County Courthouse on April 19th. It involved a defendant and a court officer. In a video, Young Thug seemed confused, looking around. The defendant who caused the scene wasn't seen on camera, but the outburst could be heard outside the courtroom. Defense attorney Justin Hill explained that things suddenly went haywire during a normal court proceeding. A court officer interrupted and took one of the clients away. It's not clear why. This caused confusion and chaos from that point onwards. On April 17th, 2023, lawyers and people on trial gathered to discuss their cases. During During this hearing, Justin Hill, a lawyer representing Damon Blaylock, another YSL affiliate, stood up. He told the prosecutor they were capping. This happened when he was talking about something important, but the judge interrupted him, saying not to worry because they would talk about it anyway. Hill then said,
I'm saying that this is not true. It's capped, to be honest.
Later, Hill explained in an interview that he used this phrase when another lawyer said something untrue. He mentioned that he doesn't exactly regret saying it, but looking back, he might not have said it if he knew it would become a big deal. Anastasios Monetis, the defense attorney for Miles Farley, another YSL associate, got into trouble on April 20th during a court session. He was accused of bringing prescription medication into the courtroom. When deputies found out about the drug, Monetis reportedly threw his phone at one of them. This led to his arrest. He now faces charges like hurting a law officer, causing trouble in court, and having pills not in their proper container. In a statement, Monetis mentioned that the deputies treat them like criminals without any good reason. Because of Monetis' arrest, Miles Farley was allowed to get out on bond. Now, these are the details of the trial, but it doesn't do anything to answer the important question, will Young Thug beat his case? The answer is no, at least not likely. The district attorney, Fonny Willis. Remember the prosecutor handling the case? District Attorney Fonny Willis. She's the reason why Young Thug might never make it out. Let's break it down. One person who has been intentionally left out of this video till this moment is YSL Mondo. Mondo and Thug became friends through their mutual buddy Buck Buck. Mondo helped create the Young Stoner Life music group with Young Thug in the early 2010s. However, unlike Thugger, Mondo shares a different side of Fonny Willis.
Oh,
While the DA is
yeah.
trying everything.
This that dude, bro, like almost like a family friend, like a nephew or son to her or something, and she let him out. No. He the only young Stoner Life, whatever, YSL member that she didn't involve in the RICO case. I remember this, John, bro.
In her power to put Thug away. He saved Mondo from this fate in 2019. During this time, Mondo got hit with some heavy accusations, including aggravated assault charges that could have meant serious jail time. Fonny Willis was his lawyer, and the result was impressive. The judge went easy on his charges and put him on a program instead of throwing him behind bars.
Isn't that
She
crazy?
even helped him finish the program early because of the COVID-19 mess. Mondo was surprised to find her now going after Young Thug. They used to have a solid working relationship. They even had those heart-to-heart talks. He said the person he sees on TV now is not the same woman who defended him in 2019. He said, "This is not her character. This is not who she is," he stated. "I done had auntie to nephew, mother to son type of talks with her. I know this not her character. This is what made me start looking at the YSL case like I know it's bigger than just her. It's politics behind it. It's other people that's behind her pulling strings." But here's the twist. Willis had a long-standing career as a prosecutor, spanning a remarkable 16 years before stepping in to help Mondo. In 2018, she briefly paused her role as a prosecutor to venture into her own private pursuits. Mondo is right. Clearly, there's a deeper layer to this narrative. Political dynamics are evidently at play, but Mondo might have been a bit too hopeful about their past relationship. Willis was always aiming high. She had her sights set on snagging that DA's office role.
That's the same thing Trump said, though.
In 2019, Mondo and Thug had a public argument when Mondo's Instagram comments about starting YSL were misunderstood, but they patched things up since then. Mondo also mentioned he's been in touch with Thug's family since the legal issues came up. He said, "I've been talking to Mama Thug. I've been talking to his sisters." He continues, "Thug is keeping a good spirit and keeping his head up, but certain stuff he's just disappointed about," he concludes without adding any details. Mondo aims to stay
As
away
he
from
would
the
be.
developing RICO case while supporting Thug from a distance. He knows Willis won't hesitate to take action against him if he crosses paths with her. According to him, Willis told Mondo to be careful in 2019. She said something along the lines of, "Don't mess my name up now. You know I'm about to get ready to run for this head DA. You f*** around and do something else. I'm going to sock it to your ass." Another thing that suggests Willis won't rest until she puts Thugger away is the 4 rejected bails. In May 2022, his lawyer made an urgent bail move that was rejected. He revealed the shocking conditions Thug is enduring in jail. They've described it as truly inhumane. Thug is stuck alone, confined to a small space with just a bed, a toilet, and a glaring overhead light. There's no TV, no internet, no chance to stretch his legs, and definitely no interactions with other people. Even Gunna shared his thoughts on Instagram, shedding light on the tough time Thug is going through. The latest one was rejected on Friday, July 21st, 2023, when the judge said no once more to letting Young Thug out of jail. They're worried he might scare off witnesses, so they didn't give him bail. During the hearing, Judge Ural Glanville talked about how prosecutors had heard from witnesses that Young Thug seemed to be asking if it was okay to hurt them. Many people in the music industry see the trial as more of a procedure than anything else. They believed Willis had already gathered a considerable amount of evidence that could put Thug away even right now. This theory makes sense given she's brilliant and has an impeccable track record. She's going a step further by using Thug's song lyrics as evidence, linking his gang associations to his music journey, and this move is creating quite a commotion. People are upset because they find it quite unjust to treat rap lyrics as evidence in legal matters, especially for young black artists who infuse stories into their music. When asked about it in an interview, she said, "I think if you decide to admit your crimes over a beat, I'm going to use it. Is there any hope for Thug at all? Yes, there may be some hope for him. However, this would mean the theory of Willis having all the evidence to incarcerate him is false. In fact, the theory could be wrong. DJ Academics recently spilled the beans by showing some court papers. These papers showed that YFN Lucci got handed a subpoena while in jail on January 9th, 2023. This subpoena basically told him to show up as a witness for the prosecution against Young Thug and his YSL buddies. But the unbelievable twist is that YFN Lucci gave the subpoena the cold shoulder. Basically, he's not down to help the cops and talk against Young Thug. Whether that subpoena is real or not is not known for sure. But we know that after this news started spreading, YFN Lucci went on Instagram and put up a post. He wrote, "Even in an earthquake, we wouldn't break. No, we're solid hash-free 650. Lucci's lawyer, Drew Findling, talked to TMZ back in December and basically said that Lucci isn't going to be a part of the YSL RICO case. Findling said Lucci hasn't been talking to any cops involved in the current YSL situation. Any party can announce, for example, that Abraham Lincoln is on their witness list, but those words alone are meaningless. So to be 100% clear, Rayshawn Bennett will not be a witness in the YSL case," Findling said. We all know about the big feud between Thug and Lucci, but what's puzzling is why Lucci wouldn't want to seize a chance to see his rival off to jail for good. This could have helped him and his YFN associates get a milder punishment or even stay out of jail. It's even more surprising because Thug's own affiliates have accepted plea deals. Maybe, and just maybe, the laws of the street are much more important than any business with law enforcement. All these make it quite surprising that Thug isn't putting all his effort into getting out of this mess, given what's at stake. He needs to get his act together and not get caught being messy in court or prison. If you like this video, tap the card on your screen now to watch more on the recent happenings.
Son, this look crazy. But you ain't see this mini sword he got here? But my thoughts on this video, bro, I feel like it's a shame still, you know? And what y'all think would happen to Thug, bro? Y'all think if Thug comes out between now, 2023, and 2024, you think there's still a chance for his music? One, and two, you think if he gets anything under life but over 15 years, you think there's a chance then? I don't know, comment down below, let me know if you like my drawings, if you like my artwork, you know what I mean? You can check me out. I got my store, some products tagged down below. Pyrim, that's the name of my store, my brand, my company. Well, not necessarily my company, but it means pyramids don't fall. It's basically like, there's a whole backstory behind pyrim. But pyramids don't fall. If you think you're a pyramid, you are also pyrim. And if you look at the structure of a pyramid, it cannot fall. The structure of a triangle cannot necessarily fall. In the three-dimensional sense of a pyramid with four corners, obviously a 2D triangle could fall, but probably not, because in a 2D space you would need a 3D realm in order to achieve falling. I don't want to get too deep in that, but anyways, pyramids don't fall. If you went through any type of hardships and you're still going, you're still chasing your goals, chasing your dreams, then you are me and I am you, you know what I mean? So if you like that brand, if you like that concept, and you keep pushing, support your boy. Get one of my merch. It's shirts with like my art or visual digital designs that I've done, whether it's drawing or digital designs. Merch with, you know, my work on it. Or you could get prints, posters, framed canvas art of my work. Or you could just like and subscribe or comment down below, you know what I mean? So thank you very much. Thanks for watching this video, and until next time, have a great day, everyone.